Red hot comic book movie news. Defenders of the Earth. Defenders. The Weekly Planet. The Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and... Oh, God, here he goes.
Sometimes we talk about life.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And dreams.
No.
Aspirations.
Okay, that's true. TV shows?
No.
Well, we are this week.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we're talking about Doctor Who.
It's more of a special, isn't it?
I guess it is.
It's a trio of specials,
That is
wasn't it?
true. It was.
Yeah, that's right.
My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday. With me as always my co-host Nick Mason.
Oh, TV shows.
Yeah, he's always on it, everybody.
Yeah, we always talk TV shows, I reckon.
My goodness. And what a big week, Mason, because here's the news of the week that we're going to be covering.
Oh, yes.
We're going to be talking about Deadpool 3 leaks, but we're no spoilering it. Don't worry.
We're no spoilering it. Don't even worry about that.
We're going to talk about some DC casting and some other news in relation to the DC animated universe.
Oh, yes.
Which you just informed me of.
And you didn't believe me.
I didn't, because I didn't think you knew anything.
TV shows.
Then we've got... I just got something that Hugh Grant said about being in the new Wonka movie.
Was that he hated it?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Going to talk about some reveals from the Game Awards.
Do you think the next time he gets a role in anything, they're gonna part of the contract is gonna be you can't say you hated working on the movie before it comes out. we demand you wait until at least it goes to streaming.
I think it's good marketing regardless.
Oh, yeah.
Gets people talking about it. Mm-hmm. The Game Awards, we're not going to talk all the reveals, but there's a couple of trailers in particular that relate to some movies, which I think we should talk about, or comic book properties.
All right.
Then we're going to do some trailers ahoy, including Godzilla X Kong and GTA 6.
Ooh.
It's been 10 plus years since the last one, you know.
I do know.
He does know that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we're going to be talking about the Doctor Who specials, the 3 David Tennant returns. He's the Doctor Who and he's back.
That's right.
He'll tell you all about it. There's time codes below by the great Rob Collins, who edits this podcast, if you do want to jump to anywhere in particular. Let's start with this, though. Deadpool 3 leaks, Mason.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you've seen this, but there's been some images floating around various social media sites because they're filming this...
in a quarry.
In a quarry, it seems.
Every scene is set in a quarry.
The entire movie.
In some sort of quartz quarry.
Yes.
Is it on the planet Krypton?
It must be.
Yeah.
So there are some images, which we won't talk about here, that have been...
But we know what they are, just to be clear.
Yeah, we know.
We're not saying them because we don't...
We figured it out.
We figured it out. We can look at images and we can interpret them and translate that into words. And we could tell you the word.
It's easy for us.
It's easy for us. We could say what we're seeing. We've done it before.
That's right.
We're professionals.
But
we're choosing not to.
That's right, because Ryan Reynolds said don't. Here's his statement.
Oh, we just do everything Ryan Reynolds says, do we?
That's right.
Well, I'm going to tell. I'm just going to say what's in the leaks.
You're drinking aviation gin right now.
It's true, I am.
You dog.
Yeah. It's 1/3 aviation gin and 1/3 whatever tequila The Rock is shilling, and then 1/3 my own alcohol of choice.
And you're watching Red Notice.
I am watching Red Notice. That's true.
He says, surprises are part of the magic of theatrical movies. It's important for us to shoot the new Deadpool film in real natural...
Deadpool.
Shut up.
Deadpool. Bit of a Freudian slip there. Deadpool.
In real natural environments, like a quarry, using practical effects as opposed to making the movie indoors and digitally. Telephoto lenses continue to spoil surprises and create a difficult situation for everyone. He's hoping some of the websites and social channels hold back from showing images before they are ready. The film is built for audience joy, and our highest hope is to preserve as much of that magic as possible for the finished film and the big screen. Part of the reason people post spoilers is because they're excited. I realize whatever. I love making movies.
Oh, so we don't get to figure out what he realized.
No. He just loves movies.
I realize that actually all human life is just energy slowed down to a slow vibration, and actually we're all part of one consciousness. You're not going to tell people that?
No.
Wow.
Figure it out.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. He also released another statement that was like, I'd hate for people to post things that say like Deadpool spoilers and there's fake images or whatever, because we released some images that are like predators on set and Mickey Mouse and all of that. And it's fun.
That is fun.
It's fun jokes.
Those are all Disney properties now. That's
right.
Fun.
So, yeah, I would just say, for me, they just appeared in front of me. I didn't go looking for them. I didn't click on them. They just magically appeared. And we could describe them, but...
we're physically capable of it. Don't even worry about that.
Maybe mute it on your various social media channels if you're so inclined.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It's up to you.
Yeah.
I don't really...
You gotta, just remember to just mute hashtag Deadpool and Wolverine's in it.
That's right.
Hashtag Deadpool and this guy's in it, you know?
Anybody you can possibly think of.
Just go to Twitter and look at all the images and then just remember to mute Deadpool X the person you see in the images.
Exactly.
And then you won't be spoiled and it's fine.
Ben Affleck's Daredevil or whatever.
That's exactly right. And I think also what maybe they should do on the production of on the production of Deadpool here, is they should figure out the angle, because it's always the same angle of some guy with a telephoto lens, and they should probably just like get a big bit of cardboard and put it in front.
Oh, okay.
And that guy will be stymied, won't he?
That's very interesting.
You know?
Also, you're in a quarry. Surely there'd be some way you could crush him with a big rock.
Crush him with a big rock.
Yeah.
Get one of those enormous, you see those enormous machines?
Yeah.
And they're like as big as a house.
And you're like, that's not a very big machine, but then you see someone standing next to the wheel and then much smaller than the wheel.
That's exactly right. Then you're like, is that a tiny little man?
That's right. And that's an example of us explaining a picture of something, which we can do.
We can do it. We can do it. That's right.
Next up, Mason, got some DC casting news. This is via Deadline and has been confirmed pretty much by James Gunn. Sean Gunn will play Maxwell Lord.
Yes, that's right.
In the upcoming, I think he's going to be referenced in the background of Superman Legacy, but then will appear in future projects. You might also remember that he also appeared in Wonder Woman 1984.
As portrayed by Pedro Pascal.
I completely forgot that.
Well,
I remember Pedro Pascal in it, but I do not remember that he was Maxwell Lord.
Well, because you thought he was a real cool guy, but he actually was a real loser guy.
Oh,
if you recall from his own dialogue.
Oh, yeah, he did say that.
He did
shout that at his son at the end or
Yeah,
something.
that's right.
When he turned into a wishing stone?
Yeah, he turned into a wishing stone.
That was a good
and everybody got one magical wish.
That was a good movie.
No.
A lot of people think that.
No one's ever thought that.
A lot of people
no one on Earth has ever thought that.
So this was being reported widely that, you know, it's the villain Maxwell Lord.
Yes.
He was going to be the villain played by Jay Baruchel of the George Miller Justice League movie, I believe. And Wonder Woman was going to, like, snap his neck. Or was it going to be Batman in the movie? I can't remember.
Don't know.
Something was going to happen.
Something's
something's going to happen. And he's mostly been a villain in the comics more recently. But James Gunn came out and said, call Max a villain is a bit reductionist as far as I'm concerned. What do you say, J.M. DeMatteis? Because
he wrote a lot of Justice League stories back in the day.
That's right. Apparently, in Justice League, well, not apparently, in Justice League International 87, he put that team together or whatever. He's often the founder or a...
That's right, yeah.
Whatever. The thing that he does. Yeah. And speaking of, because in putting teams together, I don't know if you remember, but in Shazam 2, I think it's Shazam 2, and it's also in Black Adam.
Do you think I remember, but you don't remember? Are you asking me to remember?
Oh, wait, is it Black Adam? I think he's talking about Shazam 2. James Gunn talked about Shazam 2's post-credits scene, but this might be Black Adam because I genuinely don't remember.
Okay.
Do you remember it was characters from Peacemaker recruiting for the Justice Society? It was like Amelia Hardcore and
John Economos.
Yes.
Steve
And
Agee.
she was also in the underwater base in Black Adam. And people were like, why are you putting your wife in all of these things? And he's like, I didn't. They did that.
She did it behind my back.
Yeah. He said, it wasn't my call and I didn't write it. I have no idea why those characters would be recruiting for the Justice Society. So these were just things that the DC upper echelon, and they are an echelon, were putting in movies to tease things down the line.
Tease James Gunn, apparently.
Exactly, yeah. So he was like, I don't know and I don't want to know. But apparently they're going to be casting Supergirl to appear in Superman Legacy. And
But they've already got a Supergirl.
well, they're not going to be using Sasha Calais, apparently. Apparently they're going for a blonde actress. That's the idea,
sure. Right.
Which is the traditional Supergirl look.
Sure.
But I don't know. Also, you could take an actress who isn't blonde and put a wig on her.
Put a wig on her.
It doesn't really matter ultimately.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
if you like her, you should put a wig on her, as the song goes.
That's right.
You know. So now, how do you feel about the casting of Sean Gunn as Maxwell Lord?
Yeah, I mean, if he's a Justice League style recruiter, I mean, I think like Kraglin.
Well, see, that's the thing.
But
I think
if he doesn't have to do that.
Yeah, people are basing this solely on like, but also like Pedro Pascal. When I think of Pedro Pascal generally, he's a handsome man, but I also think he's quite scraggly and kind of like, generally speaking, he's a bit unkempt.
Yeah.
But for Wonder Woman 84, they like gave him that beautiful coiffed hair and he was smooth as silk
Golden
and
brown.
exactly, and all that sort of stuff. So I mean, if they want to beautify, because I think of Maxwell Lord as like that kind of classic like 1980s businessman, like perfectly coiffed. They can do that to Sean Gunn.
Absolutely.
Why not?
If he lets them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might not. He might lash out as he's wont to do.
Like a stray cat?
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's how they got the character of Weasel. They just motion captured him acting out on set and scratching at people, and then they just CGI'd over the top. They're like, what can we do with this footage? This production's doomed. And then they're like, what if we made him a weird weasel? It's like, all right.
That's the other thing he actually talked about. I don't have this here, but he mentioned that there are actors who play multiple roles. They might be voice actors or mocap, as mentioned. Sean Gunn's already in the DCU as Weasel. If that's part of this, I don't know. But yeah, he's going to be appearing multiple times. I think there's people who voice characters in
Creature
Commandos who are going to be live action and play different characters potentially and all of that. And speaking of, and you informed me of this, Mason.
Uh-oh.
This is your one bit of news, I guess.
Sure, I guess.
What's happening with the DC animated stuff at the moment?
I don't know.
No, Mason.
Well, because we talked about it last week or the week before.
Someone wrote
there's like the current crop of DC animated movies.
It's the Tomorrowverse.
It's the Tomorrowverse, and there's a Justice Society in World War II movie, and there's various
Long Halloween
and so on and so forth. Anyway, they're cancelling it.
They're binning it.
They're binning it. They're starting again. They're doing Crisis on Infinite Earths
parts 1s and 2s.
Yes,
and then they're going to throw all that away, and it seems to be it's going to be the James Gunn, Peter Safran continuity going forward.
Sure.
Which is, I don't know whether that's the best move. I don't know necessarily.
Yeah, I like the idea that
you can tell different.
Yeah, tell different stories and different continuities. I mean,
they're already doing Elseworld stuff, so I guess
That's
they could
true.
do Elseworld animated stuff. You know,
how are we saying that?
Elseworld animated stuff.
Okay, great.
You got a problem with the way that I am?
No, I thought that was cool. I think
you just wanted me to repeat it because you liked it.
Yes, and I think we should all going forward. I think we should all say it like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was just watching Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah. And I guess to be fair, I haven't watched any of these, but when they reboot it, I will at least start it. At least be like, what's happening here?
That's probably it then.
So,
they're probably like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like when they rebooted Star Wars or whatever and everyone loved it and they got rid of all the legends.
Everybody did love that.
Everyone did love that and they still don't talk about it all the time. And then you don't get images posted. It's just like, oh, imagine if we had this. And it's Luke and Han and Leia, and they've all got beards and whatever. I don't know.
Sure.
You know
and they're all looking as young as the day they were born.
Yeah. Look what Kathleen Kennedy took from us.
Look what Kathleen Kennedy took from us. She took Mark Hamill not aging. She took from us Mark Hamill aging in a completely different way to how he actually aged. That's Kathleen Kennedy's fault. He could have had the face of a Greek god, but Kathleen Kennedy stepped in.
She stepped in it?
Yeah, she stepped in his face.
Oh, no.
That's right. She said there'll only be one legend, it'll be made Kathleen Kennedy.
That's what she said.
That's right.
Yeah.
She crushed his face.
Oh, my God. I hope he's all right.
He's fine. He's doing great.
So Hugh Grant did an interview this week for, I think, MNE. And they were talking about Wonka.
What are we calling it?
MNE.
NME, the New Musical Express.
Yeah. What did I say?
You said MNE.
Did I? MNE.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Eminem.
He's probably talked to Eminem.
You know what I like about Eminem?
He's been in 8 Mile. So.
I know what I like about Eminem. It doesn't look like he draws on his beard. That's what I like about it. What do you like about him?
I like that too, actually. Yeah,
we both like the same thing.
Well, I think we have observed it and we've articulated what we liked about it in the form of words.
Because it's real, isn't it?
It's real. Yeah. In a lot of ways, that's what he does.
Yeah.
He articulates what he sees in the form of words. He's one of our greatest inspirations.
That's true. You're not wrong.
And that's why I grew this beard, because of his real beard.
And we also know that beards are makeup for men.
That's true.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
It's true.
No, James, they're makeup and also personality.
Okay, you're right. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Yeah. God, Eminem. Love his beard, which is real.
Real.
Anyway, MNE said that they spoke to Hugh Grant.
Okay.
And they asked him about how was it to performance capture an
look, I'll be honest, maybe there is a magazine called MNE. You would.
I don't know.
You'd want to jump in on that.
I don't know.
The NME's been a very successful music magazine for years, so you might want to just be like, you sneak in Transmorphers style.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you get your grandma, you go, Gran, can you go down the shops and get me the NME? And she goes down the shops.
No problem.
Oh, I think my grandson wants the MNE. And they go, here you go.
And it's a porno.
No.
It's a bad one.
No. Wow.
Bad, yeah.
Wow. So Hugh Grant's talking to this porno magazine.
I don't know what he's up to, but yes.
Wow.
They said, what was it like, performance capturing and playing an Oompa Loompa? And he said, it was like a thorn of crowns. That's the thing that's on his head that points all the cameras at him.
A crown of thorns?
No, he said crown. Oh, what is wrong with me?
I don't know.
It was like a crown of thorns. God damn it. I made a big fuss about it. I couldn't have hated the whole thing more.
Oh.
He went on to explain that he did not know whether he was required to act with his face or his body the whole time, adding, I've never received a satisfactory answer. And frankly, what I did with my body was terrible and it's all been replaced with an animator. I never got this here, but they also said, but was it worth it in the end? And he goes, no, not really.
That could also just be a reflection on his life.
Yeah,
like
you
just
might-
him
yeah.
going, what I've done with my body is terrible.
Yeah,
Just
might be.
generally. Also, just put orange makeup on his face. What
Weird,
What are you
right?
doing?
I don't know what
Why do
they're
you
doing.
need to do the motion capture rig on his head?
Makes no sense.
Yeah, that's great.
Apparently the movie's all right.
Yeah,
It's out in I think it was out in the UK last week, but it's in the US and Australia and other places this week. We'll talk about it next week probably.
right. Mm-hmm.
The Gilliam Jonker sequel, the
That's
Joker.
right.
I don't know. You looking forward to it, I guess? Yeah. We're looking at the Tim Burton one this week for Caravan of Garbage.
That's right.
That's an excruciating experience. Isn't it?
It's almost watchable, I think.
But
Except for
what
Johnny Depp.
happened?
Johnny
Yeah,
Depp's
it's
in it.
terrible.
And it's not just Johnny Depp is in it, or
No.
Johnny Depp either.
No.
But the fact that he's doing the weird,
It's bad.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's like an era of Johnny Depp where you're like, oh, it's interesting. What's he going to do? A bad thing,
He did a
apparently.
bad thing, yeah.
Next up, we got the Game Awards. Everyone was like, who won the Game Awards? I don't
Doesn't
know.
matter.
Don't know.
I mean, it's mostly
Baldur's Gate 3, I think. won
Maybe.
Best game
It did, yeah.
of all time.
It was mostly somebody broke down the Game Awards, and it was like of the runtime, it was like 50% advertising for
Yep.
games and like 10% acceptance speeches or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Most people got like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
But then like Anthony Mackie and Simu Liu and other people just showed up to like shill stuff, I guess.
What were they shilling?
I don't know.
The next MCU thing?
Maybe.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
Coming to Blu-ray, presumably.
That's right, yes.
God, what a captivating scene at the end where the Captain America, the new one, was like, everybody do better politics at each other. God,
We will, Captain America.
really moved me. I still
Yeah.
think about that.
You do.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. That's how they get
It
you.
inspires me to do better in a vague way.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Sure. But there were some big revelations you're saying about the Game Awards.
Oh yeah. Okay. So the things that I've put in because they're movie and comic related, there was Jurassic Park Survival, which is set directly after the events of first Jurassic Park, which is the one that people like. It seems like it's what Alien Isolation kind of did.
Yeah.
Like a first-person game where the players take on the role of Dr. Maya Joshi, who's an InGen scientist who was unable to evacuate the island.
Sucks to hear.
Yeah, I know. Just to contend with all sorts of dinosaurs. And that one probably gets out of the fridge and whatever.
Sure.
But we see the hat. We see Alan Grant's hat.
The hat.
God,
Wow.
it's good to see a hat.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Do you reckon
Yeah.
we'll see the shaving cream can or whatever?
Yes.
My God.
Yes.
I know we did see it in Jurassic World Dominion, but how did it get there?
Well, she got it
Yeah, she
probably.
got
she
it
retrieved
there.
it. She
Yeah.
put it on a belt, and then you can see it.
Yep.
Like when you look down, you'll be able to see it on her belt for the
Yep.
remainder of the game, and that'll
Just
be cool.
taps it every now and then. let you know that you got it.
Yeah. It gave me a little bit Mirror's Edge vibe. Like it looked
Oh,
like
a bit
there was
of the
free
parkour
running.
kind of free
Mhm.
running. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like a survival kind of action game. It's by Saber Interactive. They did the recent Evil Dead game.
Okay.
Halo 4. There was a World War Z game. They've done some stuff where you'd be like, okay, you could see that they could pull off something like
Sure.
this. And look, this is the kind of Jurassic Park stuff that I want. I know there's like park builders and whatever, and they did like a Telltale game, but like I just
Jurassic
want a
Park
game
Tycoon.
where you run around and shoot dinosaurs or
Sure.
whatever with a flare gun.
I don't think you're going to be doing that much shooting of dinosaurs.
And I'm not going to get it then. 'cause
Okay,
I don't
great.
want to shoot dinosaurs. I want to shoot every dinosaur on the island.
She should get the gun from the Super Nintendo game, which is like lightning whip gun.
The what? Oh, yeah.
Just whipping it
I
around.
thought you meant that super scope that they had.
Oh, she could get a super
what
scope
a
also.
pile of trash that was.
Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah, this looks fun.
It does look fun, yeah. And I'm a big fan
Yes.
of this game. I already know.
That's great.
Because you can shoot the dinosaurs.
You don't know if you can.
I think you can. And then we got the announcement of Blade.
Maybe you can put a round in Nedry.
Oh, my
Like he's
God.
there, he's like, help, and you can be like, bang.
I'm covered in spit. Don't kill me, though. Take me to a hospital.
No, it'll be a mercy kill to shoot you
I'm
because you're
gonna
covered in
shoot you.
spit. It's just regular spit. I'm mostly fine. Bang.
Wait, before I shoot you, where's the shaving cream can? Oh, it's over there. Is it? Bang. Blade.
Yeah, yep.
It's going to be a mature single-player third-person game set in the heart of Paris,
Oh, I like that.
the stinkiest city in the world. We talked about that recently?
I don't
we
think
did
so.
on
No,
something.
we did not.
No, we did. We talked about we did a We Got This Covered bonus episode on Big Sandwich Paddle.
yes.
Where there was the Disneyland article we read where Disneyland Paris is like falling apart.
Oh, that's right.
And whatever. Yeah. Oh, anyway, I like.
I don't
Paris.
think it said the stickiest
So
place in the world.
they said. This is by Arcane Lion. They worked on Deathloop, Prey, Dishonored.
Okay.
So like a series of stuff that people like. And there is like confusion in terms of, because it's also through Bethesda, it's going to be like an Xbox exclusive PC game also.
Okay.
I would love it if it wasn't.
Same.
But Spider-Man, is on whatever, is on PlayStation exclusively.
That's true.
So that might be the way it goes. But yeah, there hasn't been a Blade game in. I mean, I'm sure he appears in a mobile game or whatever.
He's in that that one. They're all
Ultimate Alliance?
No, well, he's in that, but he's in that one where it's like,
Marvel Snap.
It's nighttime. Midnight Suns.
Oh yeah, he is too. That came out.
Did it though?
It did.
Did it?
Apparently
though?
it's good. Didn't do
Okay.
well, but yeah, people
Alright.
like that game. Yeah, it's like a turn-based something, isn't it?
Something or other, sure, yeah.
I forgot about that. I didn't get it.
No, I don't think anybody did.
I mean, I didn't understand it.
Oh, sure.
It's a night. I don't know. I don't know about that because I'm going to play during the day. I can't. I can't. I can't play at night because I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And afraid.
I'm afraid of everything. But I'm not afraid of this. Or maybe I might be. Trailers ahoy. Let's see what trailers are coming into Shaw this week. We just missed this last week, unfortunately. It's Godzilla X Kong Murder Monkeys.
That's right.
This time around, Kong, he thinks he's found some people or some gorillas that like him.
And he does the symbol for friend.
That's right. And there's a little baby Kong, and that's cool. But then it looks like there's an orangutan in a big chair or something.
That's right.
And he's not happy about it, Mason. And who does he turn to for help? Big pink Godzilla, Mason.
I was going to say Dan Stevens.
Dan Stevens there also is in this. And did you watch the trailer just before and you were like, is Dan Stevens in the previous movie? And I was like, yes. And then I was like, wait.
He's not.
No.
We'd remember.
I'd
We'd remember.
I'd
But Rachel,
remember.
Rebecca Hall's back.
Yes.
She's got a sassy new haircut.
Oh, my
So you know
God.
she means business. And that's good. And also some of the
The
others.
little girl's back.
Yep. And now she means business because she's got like special ops uniform on.
You know she means business,
Yeah, that's
Mason.
right.
Yeah.
And you know Godzilla means business.
He means
because he all
business.
pink now.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And which is a thing he's done in the past also.
I don't know.
Yeah. Because he looks like he's done some hibernation and he's come back and he's like, boo, I'm pink. I got new
Okay.
powers. And the big thing that people are talking about in this as well is they're doing a big run together.
They are. It's true.
People are
yes.
looking at Godzilla running
Yeah.
and they're not loving it.
I thought it was a bit of
I
fun.
thought it was very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is definitely and one of the things that Godzilla -1 did well is the slow kind of movement and the weight, of Godzilla. But, Godzilla can be whatever.
Yeah, I mean, this is sort of. I think I saw somebody point this out on Twitter. This is the sort of what people want for Batman, which is like multiple continuities, and you can kind of do whatever you want with them, kind of
Yes.
thing. Because we've got the slow contemplative one in Japan in the late 40s and early 50s, and then we've also got the crazy neon modern day stuff, and then we've also got Monarch. Where it's like, what's the human cost of living in a world of titans?
Oh,
and et
well,
cetera?
everyone I like is dead.
Boo-hoo.
God, get over it.
Right? Exactly. But
There's big monsters now.
Yeah.
That's cooler.
Yeah,
It's
but
cooler
like-
than having friends.
it is. It's true.
Come
That's
on.
right.
We know that.
That's right. But it's the same with Batman. You want, people want the crazy Justice League adventures,
Yeah.
but they also want the dark detective situation. And
Yeah.
they also want, what's the human cost of living in a city with Bat? He'll break your legs.
Yeah,
He'll drop you off a building and break your legs, but you won't die. And you'll be
No.
like, oh, my legs. And he'd be like, where are the drugs? And you'd be like, I don't know, man.
I didn't
do
drugs.
anything.
I don't have drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't have any money on me. Because you're going to pay for your leg surgery.
See, right, okay. But maybe my friend Bruce Wayne, he can help you. Talk to Bruce Wayne.
If I remember to tell him, which I often don't.
Can I talk to him? No, he's busy. He's a busy man.
Anyway, Godzilla X
Yeah.
Kong.
Well, this
when's
is
it out?
interesting because
check.
I feel like now
We're in a real Godzilla renaissance.
we
aren't
are. It's been a big couple of weeks for Godzilla.
Yeah.
But this is
April.
April, okay.
Yeah.
So we're sort of expanding out the King Kong villain roster now,
Yeah.
I guess. Because for the most part, I mean, besides Kong Skull Island,
Yeah. They were new additions as well.
yeah. I mean, but mostly the Titans that we're seeing being battled. We got Mecha Godzilla and Ghidorah and Rodan and Mothra's been in it and etc. So it's nice to see that because King Kong traditionally has never had a nemesis, I guess.
I bet that's not true.
Probably
But
not
who
true.
is it, though, you know?
Yeah.
Is there a Mecha King Kong, probably?
No.
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 But there is.
There's probably like a really big version of that. You know, you see that like a monkey and he's got two cymbals,
Okay.
like the toy one, and he sort of clashes them together. Just a really big one of those in a billboard.
Meccani Kong.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is one. Yeah. That's fun.
It is a
thing that
bit
you
of
said,
fun,
Mason.
yeah.
I was busy looking up a robot King Kong.
It's
People also speculated because there's little King Kong, does that mean death of King Kong? You know?
Oh, sure,
'Cause
sure,
often
sure.
it'll be like son of Kong will be the next whatever and
sure,
next whatever and etc.
absolutely.
As they say.
But yeah, so this is we got a mean evil Kong.
That's right.
So that's cool. I think.
That's fun.
And Kong has a little Infinity Gauntlet.
Is he got a robot arm? Or
I don't
is that
think
an
so.
Infinity Gauntlet?
It's a glove situation. I wonder if it's like a cast or something.
Oh,
I wonder if
okay.
he gets injured
Yeah.
earlier on in the movie, and they give him a little robot cast, but then it's got a gun in it.
That's great.
Yeah,
Would love that. He loves weapons, doesn't he?
yeah.
You reckon he built it?
No, he's stupid. He's stupider than a man, and men are stupid.
That's true. I guess we should mention there was a Fallout teaser as well.
Oh
There's a Fallout
okay.
Prime series.
How did you feel about that?
I'm not really a fan, to be honest, so I didn't.
Right then, yeah.
Nakey Jakey released a really interesting video this week about like their game design.
Oh yeah, right. Well, because that's the thing. I feel like
And it's boring, is what he's saying.
yeah, that's what
That's
I'm talking
how I
about. Like it's
find
sort
it.
of I feel like it's probably more following the. I've not only played some of the Fallout games, but I feel like it's following the look of the most recent couple, which are more
Yeah.
kind of generic.
Okay, yeah.
But I feel like
Too clean, people are
very
saying as well.
yeah, and I think like when people like the big time Fallout fans, they think of that kind of retro look because it's an alternate 1950s. Oh, it's an alternate future where everybody went into vaults in the 1950s, and so the aesthetic and all the look has sort of stuck in that era.
Yeah.
and also everything's really gross.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
everybody's super gross, but in the trailer we got Walton Goggins as a kind of
Missing the nose and...
but he looks mostly fine.
He does,
Like,
yeah.
You know, he doesn't look that much worse than regular Walton Goggins.
He looks
you know what I mean?
terrible, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. So, yeah,
I
there
don't
was...
know. It could be fun.
Yeah, there was a Mr. and Mrs. Smith trailer as well.
Oh, I didn't
saw
see that.
this
I
week,
didn't
which
see
looks
it.
like a bit of fun.
So that's Donald Glover
Yep,
and
it was,
Donald Glover's friend.
yeah, it was going to be Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Who is it? She's from like, God damn it. No, the new one, not the original one.
Ah.
Maya Erskine.
There we
Yeah,
go.
that's right. Yeah.
Now, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I am sort of interested to see which direction this will go.
Yeah.
Will it be fun and kind of... I don't know. I mean, with Donald Glover involved, I'm
Yeah.
hoping for good things. But you may also remember there is a True Lies TV series, which looks like the most generic
Yeah.
TV series in existence because they weren't able to do the visual gag, which is that Arnold Schwarzenegger is the biggest man in the world, but
Yeah.
also he's just a computer salesman. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm just a nerd. I'm a regular Joe with a regular job, etc.
Yeah.
But he's actually a tank in a
Charlton
tuxedo.
Heston is my boss.
Exactly.
He has an eye badge. He did.
It's true. Yes, he did. So will it go that direction? Because
I think with the people that are in it, I think
Yeah.
there's some...
because
Yeah.
the reason that Mr. and Mrs. Smith the movie is remembered is because it had the time, the two extremely famous, like traditionally very beautiful,
Yeah.
sexy people who are having an affair in real life.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, it obviously translates to the screen and etc. But if we don't have that,
Also, that movie's not great.
it's not great, is it? No,
No, it's fine, I guess.
People remember him spinning around in a room
Yeah.
and shooting, but it's not tremendous.
It's not much chop.
No.
The dog's here, everyone.
Hello, Ollie. How'd you get in?
It is dog time.
It is dog time. She can open the sliding door.
That's right. And this door.
This door also.
God, we need a third door.
a dog door.
Yeah, maybe.
An easy to access.
No,
dog door?
I meant like a vault, like a Fallout vault,
Yeah,
which has
Fallout
to
vault.
spin a big wheel.
Yeah, nice. She'll
open the
figure out
door.
how to spin a big wheel.
Anyway.
And she's off again.
Oh, there she goes.
Yep.
So GTA 6 finally got a trailer.
That's right.
Now, the reason we haven't had one for a while is, well, they did a Red Dead game in between.
Mm-hmm.
But also, these games now take a really long time.
And
to
$1 billion.
crunch people. And $1 billion to make that. And plus, they're making like a bunch of online stuff and whatever. And that's honestly, like, for this stuff is where the money is.
Yeah,
like,
right,
That's like, this will do extraordinarily well, but it doesn't compare to the money they make through online services.
Now, was GTA 5 was the one that had three protagonists,
Yeah.
two more or less normal guys and the insane guy, right?
Yeah, that's
that was
right,
that
yeah.
was GTA 5.
Correct, yeah.
What was his name? Can't remember.
Don't
Kevin.
know. I tried to play it, but I found the same thing with Red Dead. I don't care that much about the story, but it's a lot of like you drive to a location in your car and you're like, what do you think of this? And oh, I ran into this guy and he's a piece of shit. And I'm like, can we do a big shootout?
Is it because they were talking about you?
Yeah, they were. I'm like, I can hear you, I'm watching the game. I can hear you. And I found the same with Red Dead. It's just like you're on a horse and you'd slowly.
Yeah.
And people like that. I understand that, like the immersion of and you see the landscape.
And all the little outfits.
And maybe in all the little outfits, but
Oh my
and all
God.
the micro fucking games of you got to use a specific knife to cut the skin off or whatever to sell it to some fuck. And I just can't with any of that shit. Oh, your gun doesn't work because it's the wrong one. I don't want to do this.
All right.
It's too, the details of it are this
right.
isn't fun. This feels like work.
I understand.
Feels
sure.
like I'm working hard for this experience. Anyway, but that's me only. I'm aware of that.
But I feel like GTA, the GTA franchise, it's less granular than that. It's like,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, but I'm hoping it's, because I think they take all the fun out of it and the sandbox element. It feels like I'm on rails, for a lot of it. And I think Nakey Jakey did a great video on this.
Oh!
But the earlier ones, it really felt chaotic.
Yeah, right.
And you could do anything. Where the new ones feel like you can do anything if we let you.
Oh.
Kind of certain times.
But
Anyway.
this one's back in Vice City.
It is. So it's,
which is Miami.
it's
really.
basically, Florida.
And what I liked about this trailer is that they made virtual versions of a bunch of weird videos and
Weird stuff that
viral
happened,
stuff,
yeah.
like people dueling with alligators and
twerking on cars.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
a guy
yeah.
who's the Joker and whatever got arrested.
yeah.
This also became, this via Variety, the first trailer beat the previous viewership record holder for a non-music video on YouTube, which was set by Mr. Beast's Every Country on Earth Will Go Blind by My Hand. No, it's Every Country on Earth fights for $250,000. Posted on August of this year. So that hit 59 million views in 24 hours, and this did better than that. My son said to me the other day, he goes...
Yes.
he goes...
I want to play GTA 6.
Well, you know how they hear...
I'm going to blind people by my
No,
hand.
this is about Mr. Beast, because kids hear things and they're from other kids and they say it to you.
Yeah, because sometimes we were watching Mr. Beast video after record,
Yeah.
and the other day your son was like,
Yeah.
"Can I watch a Mr. Beast video?"
I'm like,
and I'm
sure.
like, "Yep, all
Yeah,
right,
whatever.
great."
He doesn't have access to YouTube, but every now and then we'll watch something together. But
No, he's got a burner phone.
yeah,
he watches YouTube.
It's
on.
for drugs. But he's a dealer. He doesn't do
Yeah.
You don't get high on your own supply. But he was like, this guy at my school, he said that Mr. Beast, not only does he restored the sight of the bunch of people that he blinded. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he didn't blind the people that he gave the vision back
Wow.
to. Yeah. Every now and then there's stuff like that.
Yeah.
He came home the other day and he's...
Mr. Beast has sort of become a messiah-like figure. He blinds people at his whim, and then he's like, but do you believe in Feastables? You want to sample the Feastables, and then we'll get your eyesight back.
Yeah. One of the things he said recently was can we see Sonic 3? And I'm like, it's not out yet. And he goes, no, it is out. This guy from my school.
That lying kid.
The lying kid again is he said it's out. And again, I've said this before, but I'm like, listen to me. I cannot be clearer.
Bring the kid to me.
Bring him to me. I'll sort him out. But this is my job is to know when these things are happening.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, can we watch the trailer? I'm like, there's no trailer. It doesn't exist yet. It will be out December of next year. I know that. Tell your dumb friend that.
Yeah.
Tell your dumb lying friend.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's going to be like a modern day Bonnie and Clyde story.
Yeah, we got two characters.
And it's not without its controversy, but the likes of the Tate brothers coming out being like, why would you want to play as a criminal? Wouldn't you want to play as a police officer? Okay.
Sure.
Interesting.
All right. That's interesting. You would say that, those guys.
But GTA, it's always been controversial.
It's called Grand Theft Auto. That's a crime.
It is a crime. You can't do it.
It's a little late. It's a little late to
Yeah.
moralize, I think, on the ethical constraints of the Grand Theft Auto series.
Yeah, it's always been insane, but also in the most kind of, and inherently political, but in really obvious ways. You turn on a radio station and it's like, oh, this politician, he sucks and whatever. It's it's all very obvious parallels.
And it's
not even parody. It's
Yeah.
just, or jokes.
It's like
it's
like instead of going to McDonald's, you got a fat American burger or whatever.
exactly.
That's very subtle.
There's exactly. There's no subtlety whatsoever. And that's the kind of shit that I don't like either. It's
sure.
can you at least put some subtlety into your fucking parody or whatever?
Oh, fat, stupid American burger.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. There's also obviously complaints that this was the female protagonist.
The first one in however many decades this franchise has been around.
Well, there has been, in the 2D ones there are.
Yeah, and
I mean, you're barely anybody in that
Yeah, that's
because
true.
they're top down.
And in Grand Theft Auto Online, you can be a female
Yeah.
character, but this is the first one with an actual storyline.
But like, if you look at the cast of like characters who have been leads in it, like Tommy is Italian, Carl and Franklin are black, Nico is a Serbian immigrant, Huang Li is Chinese. There's an expansion called The Ballad of Gay Tony. Like, if they released a game called that now, like, you get the same response.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's just fucking GTA. Like, it's the same thing that
Yeah.
we've seen again and again. It's just more modernized, and there's going to be more very specific things you have to do that
That's
I'll
right.
hate.
Yes.
But I might get this.
You might. It's true. They'll get your money and you'll
I
play
got-
it.
I
You'll
got
play
Red
it for
Dead
3
too,
hours. You'll
yeah.
play it for 3 hours until
Yeah.
you have to roll cigarettes for a mob boss for 2 hours, and you'll be like, nope, I'm done with this.
Yeah, I
You got
got.
to move your dual sense controller and roll the cigarettes.
I like the first Red Dead Redemption,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't get in the second one. I tried 4 and 5 with 4 with the Nico Bellic one.
Mm-hmm.
I could like the car handling is apparently more realistic, but I hated the feel of it.
Uh-huh.
And when it started, it's like take your cousin to work,
Yep.
go on a date, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't. No, in the original 2D one, it just drops you in the street, and then you just like.
You steal a car
You
and
steal
you
a car
drive around.
immediately,
Yeah.
and then you do whatever. And I can't with any of that stuff. I'm just not interested.
Well, there you go.
Just put the fun stuff in.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, like it is undeniable that they put so much work into these. Like you can go any.
Oh, yeah,
it's not
absolutely.
like Cyberpunk where it's a broken.
I mean, it's better now apparently.
Yeah,
Cyberpunk,
I've heard that.
But yeah,
But like it's not like where it's half of it's broken. You can go anywhere and do
you can go
anything.
anywhere because you can clip through a wall in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, that's
probably.
true. Yeah. But yeah, like it's so fleshed out, and everybody you can pop down the
Find
beach,
weird things.
find
and
weird
You
things.
can swim probably.
Yeah, and every
etc.
like you turn the radio station, like there's so many radio stations and they're constantly running,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
there's talk radio and all that sort of stuff, and it's
Yeah.
I've thought of everything.
Head on down to Big American Shoot Store where you can shoot everybody.
That's right, but don't.
This is America.
That's right. Yeah,
Oh god, it's funny stuff.
it is. Did we talk about the trailer for The Boys? New season of The
Oh
Boys?
no, we didn't talk about that. Let's talk about that.
can't
Oh, anyway, GTA 6 2025.
Oh yeah,
So
maybe.
maybe, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, the boys, yeah,
I was going to say, speaking of, I think there's a new character, and her name is.
the boys.
Her name's The Boys, all right. It's her name might be Firecracker, and
Okay.
she's all American, and she drinks beer, and she's got a like a radio show, and it's called I've Got Opinions.
Is
you
it
know?
like an Alex Jones kind of thing?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
is it
She's like that, and so
more
I'm
like
just
a
like,
Daily Wire kind of.
yeah,
whatever,
kind of.
yeah.
I think so, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like, well, what's her weird fetish going to be?
Yeah,
you know?
that she's a Nazi probably.
Probably. Well, I did that.
Yeah, you can do it
I
twice.
guess you could do it
There
twice.
can't be two Nazis.
No, there can definitely
Fictionally, not
there
in
can
real-
definitely
not in
be
real
more
life.
than that in real life and
Yeah.
in fiction as well. I think.
Anyway, what are we moving on to?
Doctor Who.
Let's do it.
All right.
Doctor Who is back.
Hello.
Not only is he back, he's double back because he's already been back.
Oh, that's true.
And it's not like where you go back in time and you see like a different, like you see him in the past and where they had the Matt Smith, David Tennant. thing
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
did.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is like he's regenerated into himself.
Could it be triple back?
Oh my god.
Because there's the original 10th Doctor, David Tennant.
Yep.
But then didn't he regenerate back into himself
yeah.
off screen
He does
because
this a
he was
lot.
vain?
Oh, he also once regenerated from his severed hand into a
Yeah,
human version of
into a
himself.
human who lives in another dimension?
Correct.
Right.
With Rose.
But now he's back.
Now he's
for
back.
the third or fourth time, maybe.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So look, there's 3 Doctor Who 2023 specials which star David Tennant.
That's right. And
returning.
Catherine Tate.
And Catherine Tate, that's right. They're both returning to their respective roles, Mason.
They've respected roles.
What do you think the story was?
Oh, come on, mate.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, here we go.
Here we
It's going
go.
to be tricky.
Yep.
First of all, I had some trouble finding these because I went to the ABC, formerly the home of Doctor Who.
They're not there anymore.
In Australia, they're not there anymore because they're on Disney Plus.
That's right.
And you can tell.
Oh boy, can you?
You can tell.
So did they-
Disney's bankrolling
Did
these.
they? Or
think
did they?
so.
Or are they just distributing them?
Oh, I don't know.
Let me find out. I think there's some kind of deal. Mm-hmm. Let me check.
All right,
While we're
okay.
doing this. But anyway, you do the story and I'll figure that out.
So here, they're back and
Yeah.
there's 3 Doctor Who specials. So we're going to cover the 3 classic Doctor Who genres. 1,
Yes.
there's a cute little creature that's probably more sinister than you thought initially.
Whoa.
2, the Doctor and his companion are stuck in a room.
Whoa.
3, a guy shows up and tries to destroy the world. That's the 3.
That's the 3.
Those
It's
are
the
the
3
three
things that
Doctors.
happens.
Yeah, that's right. Classics, one and all.
I know they're okay. So it
And
looks.
the third one is where they do all the budget. They blow all the budget. So, like,
So it looks as if Yeah, no, it is Disney-backed budget. There you go. Okay, that'll do it. I mean,
I
and you can definitely tell because I watched some clips of like some of the earlier David Tennant stuff, and I just don't remember it looking that shitty.
Well, it was a quantum leap for the time.
It was.
Like when it came to Eccleston.
Yeah.
I think I even commented at the time when it kicked off with Eccleston as 9.
Yeah.
I was like, this is what kids imagined in their heads when they watched Doctor Who back in the day. Like it was just them running through styrofoam corridors.
Yeah.
And fighting styrofoam monsters, but in your head you imagined it as being real, and that's how it felt. With the Eccleston at the time, but it doesn't look great.
No, I mean I think like a lot of those stories definitely hold up.
Yeah,
especially the ones that they do on like they make use of the budget or they'll use real environments or just outdoors.
Oh, the outdoors.
It just looks better.
My goodness.
But there's giant corridors in this like huge space station.
The new Dalek, the new TARDIS interior.
Yeah, it looks
There's
incredible.
no Daleks in this.
No.
Spoil it.
Spoiler alert.
Reverse spoilers. There's no Daleks.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, just in general, how did you feel about these?
I had a lot of fun with these.
Me too.
Generally speaking, as I've said before on this podcast, I'll watch the new season, I'll watch the first couple of episodes, maybe the Christmas special.
And then you bounce.
And the introduction of the new Doctor, and I'm like, well, this could be a kind of show. It's the kind of show I should like.
Yeah.
Based on all the other stuff I like. I should get into this, and then I watch maybe one more episode, and I'm like, no, it's not for me.
Yeah.
So I guess it remains to be seen. Like when the new series starts, I guess I'll have a couple of episodes, and I'll see how we go.
I know a lot of people also, they didn't like the last era, the Chibnall era.
Sure, okay.
Which I missed most, if not all of.
Sure.
Same with you, like I came back, I stayed around to like the first couple of Capaldi, and then I dipped. And then I came back in for a couple of the Jodie Whittaker ones, and then I left that. So, and it could very well be the same here.
Yeah. Look, I'll tell you this. The first episode, the first special doesn't start strong because it's just David Tennant sort of floating in space. Like he's just standing there in a green screen, and you see a sun or whatever, and he's like, let me tell you a tale about the Doctor and Donna or whatever. And I'm like, this is not promising. I
think there's some stuff here because Russell T Davies is back as well, who rebooted it in the first place and then handed off to Moffat and whatever and so forth. But I think, everything you kind of like or don't like about him, like that all returns. These feel like, story-wise at least, like pretty solid episodes from that previous era. And like you said, it does like the three things, you know what I mean? Like the Doctor Who
So the first one is an adaptation, I believe, of a comic book.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, we talked illustrated by Dave Gibbons, who we mentioned some weeks ago.
Well, we did, because we did recently.
4 Doctors. Doctor Who 4 Doctors.
At bigsandwich.co if you do want to check it out. We talked about a Doctor Who comic book. But yeah, that one, I think that one the most really felt like that kind of come to Earth and there's a weird alien and whatever, and you got to, it's an invasion of something and whatever, running around, etc.
Sure, yep.
Oh, I wanted to ask you this. What do you think of his new look? He regenerated into these clothings.
Yes.
How do you feel about that? And should he do up that button?
You should do up the rest of the buttons.
Did that bother you?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Yeah, I did.
I mean, he's skinnier than ever. He's lean as a bean.
Yeah, he's lean as a bean, and his hair is
better than ever.
Better than ever. It shouldn't work, but it does work.
I agree.
Yeah.
What's his deal?
Professional hair and makeup.
Yeah, probably.
I think that's absolutely it. He should button more of those buttons.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously like aged. He's 52, or early 50s, whatever it is. But he looks amazing.
I think he said oily 50s.
He's an oily 50. He's an oily 52. I think we can all agree on that.
That's very true.
But no, he's clearly like, he looks after himself. He's a Hollywood guy.
Or he's naturally thin.
No, Mason, you can't just be naturally thin. You got to do a bunch of stuff, Mason. You got to do a bunch of cardio, Mason.
I don't think that's true. I think he's just naturally thin.
Yeah. And so you don't mind the two tight suits are back and all of that.
Yeah, I think that's fun, yeah.
I like it. I think it feels... It's obviously an update on what he's previously done, but it feels fresh. I don't know how he regenerated into those clothings. How does that work? I don't know. Why isn't he wearing the Jodie Whittaker clothing is my point.
Because it would look silly.
Yeah,
and they'd be like, he's wearing girls' clothes.
Yeah, but that's cool.
You know when Jodie Whittaker as the 13th Doctor was wearing those obviously girls' clothes, a pair of trousers and a shirt.
I do remember that.
And a jacket?
Yeah.
Like a girl?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they wouldn't abide it. I mean, I think I think we'll get to it when we talk about the third special.
Yeah.
But I would say generally speaking, I like there's a lot. I think they were a lot of fun, but they do have that the Doctor Who thing of like, well, we'll just paint over this.
Yeah.
here's this,
We just kind of fudged
here's this
the
logical
mechanics of-
thing that, or the mechanics of like, well,
Yeah.
how's this going to work? Or well, we said he can't do this, but what if we just say he can now?
Yeah.
It's fine, you
Figured
know.
it out.
Yeah, and it's it's a.
What if there's a ball catching competition?
What if there's a
No
ball catching
spoilers.
competition? Exactly, that's right.
Actually, Nathan Bauer reached out. Who
dat?
was a fan of the show, and he's got he does a couple of podcasts with Lawrence.
Oh.
Read it for us. He's got one of them's called Still Got Legs, where they do a Doctor Who rewatch.
Okay.
And he reached out and he's like, "Is there anything about this that you're like confused or lost? Like, I'm happy to help you out," because he's like a big fan and been
Of
following,
us?
of us, but also Doctor Who and like been through this the entire
Did you ask
time.
him if he's a bigger fan of us or Doctor Who?
I didn't. I'll shoot him that
If you
message
could,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Actually,
that'd be
hopefully he'll hear this and then he can respond.
Yeah, if you could.
But yeah, and there wasn't a lot of this that I felt like I'd missed, even though I'd lost maybe 8 years of information here, because it's all the Tennant stuff. And I'm like, I know most of that, or I remember a lot of it. But there was a few there was a specific question I asked, and one was like, there's a moment where in the second episode where it said that he's not from Gallifrey. And
Okay.
I'm like, is that a new thing or is that something? And it's from that era where apparently, this is how it was described to me, where this this baby appeared from nowhere and had the doomsday thing where you kill it and then it would regenerate, and they used that to create the Time Lords.
That's the timeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that baby is
the Doctor.
Who.
Yeah. So he's not. he and
I think it was a baby girl as well.
Yeah, this was
I believe,
Jodie Whittaker era.
Yeah.
So this, so the Gallifreyans got the technology to regenerate themselves from this mysterious timeless child, and
from outside the universe.
yeah,
or
and
something.
from a second parallel universe, and the idea being that the Doctor has many lives previous to their earliest memories of so when we see the original Doctor and the old ones,
There was a bunch of stuff.
there's a bunch of, and there's also another female Doctor called the Fugitive Doctor who existed prior to the.
And how does that work? So she's from before him, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, right. Yeah. Because I see her in the poster and I'm like, I don't know what the deal with that
Yeah,
one is.
right, yeah.
So yeah, apparently a lot of people don't like that. But I like as an idea, I'm like, good as any.
Yeah, right.
And they can always change it. He was human at one point.
He
or
was,
half
that's
human.
true,
There's a
yeah.
bunch of stuff. Sometimes he's got the stupidest haircuts.
Well, I think I would prefer the idea that he is really no different than all the other Gallifreyans.
I like that
he's
too,
just he's
like
just
Superman.
Yeah, he's like he's just one of the guys.
Yeah,
you know
one
what
of
I mean?
one of the guys.
Like he's not. It's not his genetics that make him exceptional. Like
It's the gun that he has.
It's the gun that is his big gun. But it's not that he's genetically superior to any of the other Gallifreyans. It's just he's got the sense of adventure that they don't have. Kind of thing. But this is fine.
And he's been around.
This is fine because I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about this universe.
And they'll figure it. I mean, they hint towards this about a greater outside threat. There's lots
That's
of
right.
hints towards
Okay,
that.
so let's break these down. So the first episode.
I just wanted to quickly ask you
Okay.
this. Does he live in our present?
Who? The Doctor?
Like, is he on our timeline?
What do you mean?
So, like, you know how he's always turning up in the modern day London and being like, what's happening?
Yep.
Is that his base timeline? Or where does he mostly live and reside?
So
in?
if he was like, I'm going to hang out on Gallifrey, what time would that be?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I see what
I
you
feel
mean.
like he's from now, though, right?
Well, he seems to end up now a lot, doesn't he? Like he collects his companions from roughly now.
Yeah. Not always, but
No.
yeah.
Say it is, yeah.
I guess he just likes now.
Likes now.
Yeah.
It's got TikTok
I don't like it.
and chips.
It does have chips.
Yeah.
He's probably from an era where we didn't have chips. Anyway, yeah, so we'll break it down.
So the first one, a creature called the Meep arrives, and the Meep's very cute.
Yep.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, saw through that.
Great, very good. And also importantly, the Doctor is drawn to again present day, and Donna is there, and the idea the when he left Donna, he erased her memory
Because he had to.
with under the belief that if she ever remembered who he was, she would die.
Yeah.
because of something. There's a Time Lord brain in her brain or something.
Can't do it, won't do it.
Can't do it,
'Cause
won't
Time
do it.
Lords, as we all know, have two brains.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
If she remembers him, she'll explode.
that's right.
Yeah.
Spectacularly.
Yeah. Yeah, but now at this point, like, she's married, she's living a normal life, she has a daughter, and everybody around her, or her mum in particular, knows David Tennant.
That's right.
Yeah, and she's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I don't know. Somebody help me. Someone vaguely explain while I'm here.
Yeah.
Don't worry, they do.
They do. That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. This one felt really classic, like Tennant, Tate, like Russell T Davies. Like this one, to me, the most kind of like British London running around story.
Yeah, right.
That they used to do. You know?
Yeah. Unit is back.
Unit is back. That's right.
In the third episode, they have an Avengers Tower.
They do.
It's just Avengers Tower.
It's just the Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
You got all sorts of flying ships and whatever, or just helicopters. I can't really remember. Yeah, for me, like, because it's been so long since I've really watched any of this, it felt like putting in like an old pair of like slippers on, you know?
Sure, right,
it's like, I remember this.
Yeah.
These are fun, right?
Yeah.
This is a good one. Like, it felt a lot like that. It wasn't even, I would say, a particularly like amazing episode. It was just kind of like, this is a nice kind of, these are nice people to come back to. And
we're doing spoilers here, I presume.
Sure, yeah.
Nobody is listening. Look, I think you should check them out. If you've got Disney Plus, they're just there.
Would you check them out if you'd never seen Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
or
so,
would you go back to the really bad ones?
Oh, go back to some bad ones. Go back to some ones from the 60s that most of the episodes have been destroyed.
That's right, yeah.
No, I think this is a pretty good jumping on point. I mean, all you really need to know is he's an immortal time traveling alien and he has friends from Earth.
Yeah.
You know?
I jumped in on the Tennant era. That's when I saw a couple of the Eccleston, but Tennant was where I actually started watching.
Anyway, so the twist is that the Meep he's a real cutesy character.
Boy, is he.
And he appears to be being pursued by some mean, nasty aliens.
By the bugs from Rick and Morty.
That's right, exactly. But it turns out they're the good guys.
They're the good guys.
And the Meep's the bad guy. Wouldn't you bloody know it?
He's got a sinister face.
He does, and little rotten little teeth.
And who's the voice? Is it
Miriam Margolyes?
Margolyes, yeah. That's fun. That's a good
a bit of
inclusion. But again, I enjoyed it. I don't really have much else to say about that. It's just, it felt pretty classic and pretty standard. And it was just nice to see everybody together again. I know people complain about, like, there's a trans character in this now, but who gives a shit?
That's right.
Shut up.
Yeah, pretty solid. I think it's probably, the first one's probably my least favorite of the three.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think some of the dialogue's a little clunky, but maybe it's the dialogue is always a bit clunky. And you just have to ease into it.
There is some inspirational kind of like corny kind of stuff going on.
And there's a moment where they're like, oh, a man like you wouldn't understand this. And it's like, wasn't the Doctor a woman for like 900 years or something? Wasn't she in space prison for like a millennium or something?
Don't know, maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, it's not important. Anyway, second episode. So at the end of the first episode, the TARDIS gets a little redesign, and then
it's the spooky one.
It's Donna spills some coffee on the TARDIS and it goes haywire. Probably should look into fixing that.
Yeah, fix
like
it.
maybe some waterproof.
Yeah.
Some,
Don't leave the key in it and then it flies away.
Yeah. Lay some plastic sheeting.
Yes.
on the console so you can spill coffee.
It's a great idea. Yeah.
Anyway, they end up at the absolute edge of the universe, a trillion billion years away from civilization, and they're in a spaceship.
Yep.
And it's spooky.
And there's nothing there.
Yeah, isn't there?
And there's really nothing there.
Oh.
Because something, again, from outside the universe has made its way in.
Yeah.
This reminded me of a couple of things. It's a bit like Event Horizon. It's a bit the episode of Red Dwarf, and this is the Red Dwarf episode of Legion.
Yep.
Where there's this AI entity, and when you arrive at this place, it takes on your memories and abilities, and then
gives you a nice time.
And it gives you form, and like gives itself form, so then it can exist. And this kind of felt like that because these two entities, which are from outside the universe and probably weren't anything, could only take shape when they could copy the Doctor and Donna.
Yeah. There's some good fun practical effects.
Oh, the
big
giant
arms. The big arms are all real. So these entities, they're sort of vampiric.
Yeah.
They leach out your memories and they take on your form.
Yep.
And then you have to run away from them.
And they grow real big.
They grow very big.
Get stuck in a corridor.
But yeah, so they are their plan is they know the TARDIS is coming back.
Yeah.
It's going to self-repair and then it's going to return. And if they take on the identities of the Doctor and Donna, then they can take over the TARDIS and they can head to civilization. They can
get up to all sorts of mischief.
Get their arms real big.
Yeah.
Put their arm in a soda machine and steal all the soda out, you know?
Oh, no.
That's exactly right.
You're not allowed
But
to
those
do that.
big practical, there's moments where they're sort of testing out, you know, they're trying to
find form.
Form, and there's a moment where they're
in fine form.
They're in very fine form, and they have big arms that they're dragging across the ground, and they were all practical, which is a lot of fun.
I think this also had some of the best dialogue and interaction between the two of them, because that's essentially the episode.
Yes.
It's the Doctor and Donna, and then another monstrous version of Doctor and Donna.
And then the Doctor and the Donna get separated, and then they meet up their respective
doppelgangers.
Their doppelgangers, and they're like, okay, well, I'm Donna, but are you the real Doctor?
Yeah.
You know, et cetera. And then but I mean, I think that sort of probably went into deep lore, you'd get more out of that, I think, if you were deep in the lore of that era. Like if you watched all episodes, because it's all about, they figure out who's who because, they
know each other so well.
They know each other so well, and I think it's sort of a mystery, and I think if you were very deep into that, you'd be able to follow along way more easier.
Yeah.
And you'd be able to, figure out who's who real quick. You know
yeah,
what
absolutely.
I mean?
Did you find that?
No.
No, it was I thought they did a very good job at that.
I think they also did.
And there's a funny little robot in it.
Yeah.
When you think
He's
about,
like Marvin from
absolutely.
from Hitchhiker's Guide.
And when you think about that episode, there's not really it looks amazing, but it's pretty much like an infinite corridor, which is parts of it are real and a lot of it is green screen.
Mm-hmm.
The two of them are robot and some rooms and vents.
Yeah.
There's actually nothing really to that episode.
Yeah, this is the trapped in a room episode. Yeah,
it feels still very big, and it feels like that ship is bigger than what you see of it.
Yeah, it's like a Red Dwarf.
It's like Red Dwarf.
Red Dwarf episode.
That's right. And we just finished our Red Dwarf
Yeah,
episode.
well, I also think it's interesting that they did do pretty much – I was joking, but they really did do the kind of 3 classic Doctor Who things. The second one, of course, is the one that they do when they don't have a budget.
Yeah.
And they're trapped in an event or whatever.
Yeah.
But they do have an unlimited budget in this instance. But I thought it was interesting. They're like, well, tradition's tradition.
Let's do it.
So we'll do a trapped in event episode. You know
this
what I
one-
also liked?
Oh, go on.
I also
Go on.
liked that
I'm listening.
there was a decent balance in
yes.
all 3 of these episodes
Yeah.
of the Doctor knows everything.
He does know everything.
But he doesn't know everything.
Not everything. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Because I think, to me, it gets a
he
bit
did a lot of I don't know.
Yeah,
what do you think?
It gets a bit tiresome, I think. There's versions of the Doctor where he does know everything
Yeah.
and everybody's afraid
Or
of him.
depending, that's the same version and depending who's writing
Yeah.
that or whatever.
Yeah.
I think Tennant did start the kind of Doctor knows everything. Some episodes,
Yeah, I personally think, and I've talked about this
More
on the
than Matt
podcast
Smith?
before, but I think it is the fact that Eccleston and Tennant brought a charisma to the characters. I think it's like a Captain Jack Sparrow thing.
Yeah.
I think they brought a certain charisma to the character that people were like, oh, Doctor Who's cool now.
Yeah.
And then certain people behind the scenes started writing the characters as if they were cool.
Yeah.
But they're not cool. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's right.
So you can't write a character and say this guy's cool and we all think he's cool, because then people are like, that doesn't. Now it's cringe.
Yeah,
then
then it becomes cringe.
Then
It
it
doubles
becomes
back
cringe.
into cringe.
Doubles back into cringe.
Yeah, no, you're right. There was a lot of moments in these episodes where it was like, I don't know.
And there's a point where somebody just clocks him in the back of the head and he gets knocked out. And I'm like, good.
Yeah, good. I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I think this is my favorite of the 3.
Yeah.
What about you?
I probably like the third one the most.
I think the third one kind of comes apart a bit.
Oh, we'll talk
towards,
about
the
that.
as they resolve the thing.
So at the end of the what I also liked is they sort of tied all these specials together in a sort of in a kind of way. So
would you say you wouldn't even need to watch any of the episodes prior to this, and you could watch just any of these in any order, or just one? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'd say you probably have to watch all 3 in order.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So at the end of towards the end of the second special, the Doctor, he comes to the realization that these creatures are sort of like vampiric. They're like creatures of legend. And he's like, well, maybe we can stop them by running a line of salt across the ground. And they can't cross the line of salt. But then he realizes in the third episode that invoking a superstition at the edge of the universe where the laws of physics are not real.
Yeah, I didn't even make this connection.
The laws of physics aren't quite what they should be. They're
Yeah.
sort of like primal and anything could happen kind of thing.
All up for grabs.
And so the fact that he went, oh, let's make up a rule here about salt and whatever. In doing so, he lured one of his old nemesis from another universe.
Barney.
Yeah, it's Barney. And let me tell you, his appearance was legend. Wait for it, dairy.
Very good. Yeah.
So in the so in the third episode,
His old nemesis.
well, he's an old nemesis who was in one episode or 2 episodes or something like that from like the 60s. I don't know. I didn't watch it. Nobody.
No, I haven't seen it.
So in this episode, where should we start on this? Maybe at the start.
Well, it's about everyone's on their phones and cancel culture.
See, that's the thing as
Yeah.
well. And maybe you're absolutely right. I don't think that what is happening really gels. So the Doctor and Donna arrive in present day.
Yep.
To find that everybody, the world's ending and planes are crashing and all sorts of stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Everybody's arguing. And so they go to UNIT and they learn that everybody in the world has been infected by some sort of mind virus, perhaps a woke mind virus.
Whoa, no way.
Where everybody thinks they're right all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So but now they're all getting into violent arguments.
But in real life, as opposed to on Twitter or
online,
whatever,
exactly.
yeah.
That's right. And then the Doctor.
God, that I was really like, like the internet.
That's right.
I got it. I knew.
Yeah. It's real Black Mirror. Very Black Mirror. What if the internet, but in real life, you know
And
what
your
I mean?
phone,
but not on your phone.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So the Doctor realizes that this is happening because 100 years prior, the TV was invented by John Logie Baird, the
Beautiful.
namesake of the Logies.
Beautiful.
And in doing so, the first image that he projected on the television was the image of a doll,
Stooky Bill,
which is
who's real.
and he was a haunted doll
Yeah.
that he bought from the toy maker,
Yep.
from the toy maker's shop. And in doing so,
Barney?
he was Barney,
NPH.
and he's legendary.
Yep.
And in doing so, he set in motion a plan so in the present day, once the final satellite got put into orbit, it connected everybody in the entire world to the internet.
Yep.
And everybody in the entire world subconsciously saw the image of the haunted little weird doll.
Yep.
And everybody got infected by this, the
mind virus.
the woke mind virus.
Yeah.
So the Doctor has to battle the toy maker now.
I did find the bit when he first confronts him.
Yes.
And he goes in there and he realizes who he is and he's like, Don, you should go back to the TARDIS. This guy's serious.
Uh-huh.
But then I was like, it's not that serious.
That's right.
You've fought like 100 guys like
And
this.
then there's a moment shortly thereafter where he's like, "Oh, you can't beat this guy. I don't even know." And I'm like, "You've been up at this for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You beat him. Think about it for another
Beat him
5
early
minutes.
in another episode.
Yeah, you beat him in another episode probably. I don't know. Well, that's the thing. I mean, if
He doesn't. I don't follow the laws. He follows different laws. I don't know.
follow a different law then.
Just
follow a third set of laws. and
Open
you
the
beat
door you need to open and beat him at a
him. Yeah,
thing.
that's right. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. So, well, I think
I like the Neil Patrick Harris's performance.
he's chewing some scenery. I think.
What's the behind the scenes stuff?
Yeah.
And like, because he needs to do like magic tricks and sing and like dance numbers and
NPH loves magic.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and they were like, if we didn't get him, we don't know what we would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have gotten what's his name? Darren Criss. You could have got that guy.
Chris Angel.
Yeah, Chris. You could have got Chris Angel. Could have got David Blaine.
Yep.
Well, see, that's the thing, and I think the toy maker is sort of this combination. He's a little bit Mr. Mixes-Pitalik.
Yeah.
Because the laws of physics don't apply to him, and he can do anything.
Yeah.
He's a little bit Pennywise the Clown.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
He's
example.
just I guess the toy man from DC Comics.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. He's a bunch of stuff.
I saw a comment under the making of this episode, and somebody said the reason that he keeps changing his accent because that's apparently the way that the Doctor beat him the first time by like mimicking his voice or something. So that's why he goes from like German to English to French and
Okay, right.
whatever. I don't know anything about that.
What's interesting?
Oh yeah, what is interesting?
Maybe nothing's interesting.
I mean, you know,
I feel like the drama that the world is in, that everybody thinks they're right all the time, it doesn't really fit with the toy maker's whole deal.
Oh, okay.
Unless it does
chaos and fun.
based on the old episodes. But to me, it feels like they went, it'd be a great idea.
Yeah.
What if everybody thinks they're right on the internet, but then everybody thinks they're right in the real world?
Oh.
What if we did that and maybe an alien projected array that made everybody do that, and then the world is in peril because of that?
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Let's put that on the whiteboard. Let's put it over here. And then they were like, who can we get let's get MPH as the toy maker and blah, blah, blah. What could he be doing? And they just went, we'll just take this.
Yeah.
It's fine. We'll put it in. Because it feels like if he's the toy maker and he loves games and he loves gambling and he loves all this sort of stuff, wouldn't it make more sense if all the people in the world were playing games for real and they all got deadly or something like that?
Ooh, deadly phone games.
Deadly phone games.
Endless running in real
A
life.
snake's going to come and eat you.
Yeah, man.
You know?
The movie Pixels.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because he does have that thing of like he loves Earth because of all the different games. They make games within games, and even like Tetris is a game. He kind of mentions like got
Even
games where
Tetris is
blocks.
a game.
So that's why he doesn't want to leave Earth and whatever. But yeah, you're right. If just people shouting at each other in the street isn't.
It's not really a
reflection
game,
of
is
that.
it?
No. I mean, to some, sure.
Yeah. I feel that might have been a last minute.
Yeah, maybe.
Because
He might-
I wonder if they went, well, it's the Doctor versus the toy maker and it's a deadly game, blah, blah, blah. But it's the third episode, so we need the entire
Yeah.
world to be.
Do you think they were going to do the Master initially? Maybe.
He
I mean,
does
there's hints
mention the
towards that. Well,
Master.
he's in his tooth.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It also does a big musical number because when the Master came back the first time, not
He
the first
did.
time.
He did Rogue Traders.
Yeah, he did, and there was another. He did some other stuff as well.
Yeah,
I think.
right,
But yeah,
yeah.
there's and that felt very because Neil Patrick Harris does a big Spice Girls number in this, and it's quite fun. But that very much felt like the Master kind of
Yeah.
vibe. Oh, and so David Tennant regenerates in this. And initially he's just shot by a big laser. And I'm like, that's kind of what a boring way to go out. But then they do something a little bit interesting
what
and
the
possibly controversial.
Well, I was going to say just before that, the idea is that the doctor figures out that the way we're gonna have to beat the toy maker is he beat him once back in the 60s or whatever it was. And then he challenges the toy maker to a game, and it's just high card wins. It's a deck of cards, high card wins. And apparently the toy maker is like, I like there's a moment in it where where Donna's like, won't he just cheat? And they're both like, no.
What's wrong with you?
Of course he won't cheat. He loves games. Why would he cheat? But then then the toy maker wins the high card, and so it's 1-1.
Yeah.
And then the toy maker decides that because the two games they played previously were with different doctors, he wants to play the third game with a new doctor, so he kills the doctor. And then he regenerates.
That's right.
But he double regenerates.
He bioregenerates.
Aye.
Or whatever it's called.
Now, some would say this is a big cop-out.
It is a big cop-out.
But other people seem to be very excited about it. I've seen long-time Doctor Who fans on Twitter being like, I love this. This is interesting.
I like the idea that David Tennant can just come back at some point. But the other thing is they already set that up.
You know what it is?
What?
Spider-Man Clone Saga.
It is Spider-Man Clone Saga.
Because if people don't know, and if you've listened to more than one
All
episode...
right, has everyone got an hour and a half?
Yeah, anybody who's listened to this for more than 5 minutes, I've talked about this before, but they back in the 90s, they wanted to make Spider-Man more interesting.
Yep.
And they're like, should we make him be divorced? And they're like, no, that's too sad. No,
We'll do that later.
We'll do that later. We'll do that in about 10 years. But they're like, what if we revealed that there was a clone of Spider-Man and he was cool and young and single?
Yeah, man.
But not divorced.
No.
So that's cool. And what we could do is we could get original Spider-Man. We could reveal that he was actually the clone, and then he could get married to Mary Jane, and they could have a kid, and they could move to the suburbs, and he could lose his powers, and they could have him go away, and then we'd have a new Spider. We'd have the new guy. He could take over as Spider-Man. And he's basically the same.
He's basically Spider-Man.
But he's cool and single and young, and not divorced. Crucially. And
most importantly.
Yeah, and then they toyed with this for years, and it was a real disaster. And it feels like that. They were like, let's break the Doctor in two.
Yep.
And we can have
our cake and eat it too.
And eat it too. We can have one Doctor.
Yep.
We can say there's still a Doctor that you love.
Yep.
Even if you don't like the current goings on with the Doctor, we've picked the favorite modern Doctor. We've scientifically determined which is the favorite modern Doctor. And it's Tennant, and the one who will still work with us, so it's not Eccleston.
I mean, he seems to love it.
And it's the one who's not going to be in a Morbius sequel, so it's not Matt Smith. So it's going to be Tennant, and we'll have him still around, so if you want to have him do adventures, that's fine. Or if you just want to imagine he's still doing adventures.
Maybe you want to listen to the audio dramas.
Yeah. But we're also going to have a new Doctor.
Yeah.
And if you like him, good.
Yeah.
That's also good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also, like, they also, as mentioned, they have a Doctor who's human living in another dimension.
Who's also David Tennant.
Who ages at the rate of a human. So you could also bring him back at any point.
Yeah.
But this, I guess, is the real David Tennant Time Lord Doctor, who's now taking a bit of a break.
It's interesting they didn't go... It's interesting they even doubled up his TARDIS.
Yeah.
They didn't even go...
He doesn't get the TARDIS.
They didn't even split him in half and go, well, this guy doesn't have any powers anymore.
Yeah.
He's still the Doctor you know and love, and he knows all the languages, and he has all the knowledge, and he's still fun.
But now he barbecues.
They're like, no, he's still the Doctor. He can still do all the Doctor stuff.
Yeah.
So that's fine. I guess, and people, you know what? People love Doctors teaming up.
They do.
They love the multiple Doctors teaming up. And so they probably were like, let's build this in.
Yeah.
And we can... And also, a lot of this was probably written around Spider-Man No Way Home. So they're probably like, we can team them up later.
Yeah,
we can tease a team up at the end of the next season if we want. If ratings are down a bit, we can bring in some Doctors.
Well, I don't mind the idea of like, and you could do this any number of ways. So this is as good as any.
A bad way?
Yeah, no, it's fine, whatever. Because like you can, I mean, he's appeared before. You just go back in time and you're like, oh, there he is.
Yeah, right.
But this is the way that they can potentially bring this guy back. For as long as he wants to do it.
Exactly right.
Like every...
What if he was like, I don't want to do it anymore.
Fine.
I'm absolutely done.
But it's also the thing that you said of like, he's out there, you know? He's still out there.
He's barbecuing Fast and the Furious style.
That's right. So I think they were going to bring him back regardless. But I think, just do a version of... Why not? Who cares? And they can... Doctor Who is such a mixed bag.
Yeah. I guess technically as well, there's always multiple...
Yeah,
there's always multiple Doctors and multiple TARDISes flying around. It's just these two are now like concurrent on the same rough time area. Like there's still constantly Tennant Doctor and Smith Doctor and Eccleston Doctor and Capaldi and Whittaker and all the old ones just blasting past each other whizzing past in the timeline.
Yeah.
So, and they could all meet at any moment. So,
and kiss.
Yeah.
So he splits in two, and it's fun because he's wearing the clothes split as well.
And there was a lot of preview images, and in the trailer, there's a moment where Shooty Gut was like, "What the hell's going on?" kind of thing, and they didn't reveal that he's in his underpants the whole time.
That's also not his kind of vibe, like, at all, I feel.
Yeah.
Also, he knows what's going on because, like, he's there.
Yeah.
He's got the same memories.
Yeah, that feels like it was
trailer.
just for the trailer, yeah. Because for the rest of it, he's kind of very collected and he's very kind of like he's the healed version of the Doctor.
Yes.
Because I guess the through line of
David Tennant took all the trauma.
Yeah, the through line of this series is, or these three specials, is that this Doctor's been doing this for a really long time, maybe 1 billion years.
Yeah.
And he's really worn out and he went through the Time War and all his friends are dead and the Gallifrey blew up about 5 or 6 times.
Boy, is it, yeah.
You know, and so on and so forth. And he's just, his whole deal is just keep going.
Yep.
Kind of thing. And
Don't think about
Gutless
it.
Doctor is here to be like, no, just chill out, man. It's cool. Everything's cool. Take a little rest.
Yeah. And Russell T Davies is also sticking around to write those episodes. So look for a little bit of the Shooting Outway episodes.
I hope there's just some Tennant Doctor barbecue episodes.
No, we'll love that.
Nothing happens.
Nothing's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy's back. The old guy's back as well for an episode. Then he died.
Oh, yeah, he died in real life.
Yeah, but they snuck him in there, which was...
Yeah,
which
the
was
Bernard Cribbins.
Yeah, and they didn't do it in a weird ghoulish way.
No, but
they did it in a way that
he's right at the end of the second episode, and it was nice to see him. It was like, what a delight.
Yeah.
And then the next episode, he's just out of frame the whole time.
Yeah.
And there's just
shooting ferrets.
There's just a guy in a wheelchair with a Santa beard on, and Donna's like, get him to the unit. Wheelchair to unit.
Do it.
Yep.
Oh yeah. By the way, they beat the toy maker by catching a ball, and he doesn't catch a ball.
Yeah.
Which just felt like that was a bit where I was like, that's not a good.
Yeah, like why is the Doctor inherently better at catching a ball than the toy maker?
There's 2 of him.
That's true, and they have the same mind wavelength. I guess
that's right. Yeah. And then he folded into a box or whatever, but he was like, something's coming, etc., and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's probably
the Master.
Could be.
In his tooth?
It's probably not the Master. I think they might. They've probably already done it. There might be some Master Doctor Who team up stuff happening.
Yeah, right,
Though again, maybe they did that. Maybe they did that.
I don't know. Well, the Master was Missy for a while.
Yes,
but I don't know
and then was a
what
guy
their current status is.
Okay,
I don't know.
I don't know. To be
no, we
honest.
don't know.
It's not about that. I don't need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, all in all, I quite enjoyed this.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Best start to a new season of The Doctor ever.
Sure, why not?
As far as I'm concerned.
You're gonna watch the Christmas special?
Yeah. If there is one.
I was like, oh no, there is. I was like,
Okay.
when's this coming out? And oh, it's like Christmas, so
Nice.
it's fun. And then there'll be episodes next year and etc. and so forth. And I'll stick around for some of it probably.
Huzzah.
All right, should we move on to the next segment of the show? What's it called though?
It's called What We Read and What We're Going to Read.
Woo! I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today? Whoa. Quick shout out, Mason.
Hello.
I listened to the show Adrian I ran into last night at a bar. I was running the bar.
Adrian!
Yeah,
Did you say that? Did you say
we
that?
yelled at each other.
Huh.
And I left. And I didn't pay. Actually, my credit card did get declined as I was leaving. Yeah, it was really embarrassing. Because as you know, I'm incredibly rich.
I was going to say,
That really was quite a blow to my ego. But yeah, that was lovely. Thank you so much for coming up and saying hi and like assorting the drinks and everything.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, Mason, you were not there.
I sorted the drinks, though.
No, that's also the drink you're drinking is from me. It's from
Wow.
my house.
No wonder your credit card declined. I drink a lot of these drinks.
But it's always nice to meet people who come up and say, hello, I know I like your show. And I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
do you? You know?
Very suspicious.
Yeah. But that was super cool, man. What do we got next, Mason? What are we doing?
What we reading, what we
that
gonna
was
read.
my what we reading. That
Oh,
was,
you
that
met
was
a
my
man.
note that I
You
that
met
I,
a man.
I met a man.
Well, that's incredible.
Yeah. Oh, well, we both watched the new H Bomber guy video. It goes
Yeah,
for
a real
9 hours.
a real a real nice treat every few months.
That's right. A few months to a
the
year.
only thing rarer these days is a Jenny Nicholson video.
Oh, she's doing that on Patreon. So
okay.
But there's a regular kind
Well,
of
the only thing rarer is a Jenny Nicholson video if you're a cheapskate like us. His credit cards are constantly declining.
I've been meaning to do that because there's a bunch that I'm like, I should watch these.
I should get Nebula as well.
People always spruiking Nebula. They were spruiking it.
Spruiking it.
Why won't they let us on Nebulas? Because our video essays aren't very good.
Yes, because we're a content factory.
You notice that because Ben did it a bit on we talked about Godzilla versus Kong,
Uh-huh.
and he did like a 4-minute section on that and how that's how the structure of Batman v Superman. And he's talked, and it's very eloquent and beautifully written and edited. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh,
it must be nice.
Kong has it's got an accent. That's pretty good. I'm like, that's what I sound like.
It is pretty good, man. It's undeniable. That's real.
Yeah,
You
you're
know?
right.
You're not putting on your airs and graces.
I mean, it's all well and good to dip in and out of a video every 9 to 10 videos for 2 minutes. Anyone can do that, Mason.
Not anyone can do it.
No, not anyone.
No.
But no,
Only someone with access to editing software.
But yeah, what do you think about the video though? Because we also talked, because they talk about a bunch of plagiarists on YouTube, and they mentioned the state of the angry video game nerd in the channel, and we mentioned in the latest video that it seems like
He's
good
one
guy.
of the good ones for now.
And I left it in on purpose because I'm like, oh, that's fine. But I don't think that video is necessarily a reflection on him. It's
No, because I maintain, because that part of the video I think is fairly common knowledge that he
signed with Screenwave.
Yeah, and he traditionally he used to do he used to review a bunch of horror movies every Halloween, I think it was.
Yeah, they're really good. Yeah.
And he would write all the stuff himself, and then because he got married and had kids, I think.
Yeah.
He didn't have as much time, so he hired like a sort of content farm.
Yeah.
And they wrote a bunch of reviews, and it turned out a lot of them were plagiarized or directly off Wikipedia or stuff like that. But it's interesting because the main subject of this particular video, it's interesting because it's a lot of like LGBTQIA plus content and like the history of that sort of stuff. It's in popular culture and all this sort of stuff. And it turned out a lot of it was plagiarized from smaller creators and all that sort of stuff. And he was making a lot of money on Patreon from it and that sort of thing. But
by a lot, you mean all, pretty much.
Yeah, all of it, like over like hundreds of thousands of dollars, $170,000, I think somebody said on Twitter, a year. Yeah, but what's interesting is that I'd never heard of him.
No, I never heard of him either.
Never ever.
Never heard of him.
Like not even like.
I mean, we're also like we're not looking for that kind of content.
No, exactly.
Actively.
It's not in the algorithm, but I think it's fascinating like the scale of YouTube.
Yeah,
that there could be somebody making that amount of money and putting out this amount of stuff and.
Has this huge following. And
it's never even come up as on my thumbnail, and I'm like, not for me or whatever. It's just I've never even seen it. Yeah. But it's too late now because all the videos are gone.
Yeah, he deleted everything. Well, he mounted like every time that someone would like mention it or accuse him, they'd get kind of buried in like these fans coming after them.
Right. And I get that because it's like a lot of this stuff seems very obscure. Like it's not like if you want to talk about Mad Max Fury Road, there's a book you can just go down the local bookshop or whatever, or get it on Amazon or stuff. It's this a lot of the stuff we talk about is the very mainstream stuff, and it would make sense if that's the niche that you're interested in and learning about that. It's not as easily acquired. Yeah, and so to have like this one source and it seems to be very accurate. It's on the surface at least. It seems to be very, very deep in there, and a font of interesting knowledge. And every week you'd learn a new thing about that sort of stuff.
It feels also like a lot more work to copy somebody that extensively. When I feel like if you were to approach it in a way that was, I guess, acceptable, you could. And this is mentioned in the video where you take somebody's work, you say this person wrote this about this. And you read sections of it or quote it and then talk to that. So you're not only promoting it, you also have the content that you want. So like, why are you burying this person's work? Like, to what end? What are you doing? Like, it just seems, I don't know. What a fucking asshole. Like, and just the way that, because
what I have noticed though, even on like a podcast I've listened to recently or like recently recorded videos, everybody is very careful about their citations now.
I mean, I try to be, and I've messed up on this before, like definitely, just don't quote somebody or whatever, or you misremember something or attribute it to somebody else, but like, so it did make me go, oh shit, is there enough here where somebody can mount some kind of 4-hour video against me? But yeah, no, good though. Quite frankly, people should, step that up and and make the effort. And also, I think the thing that hurts so much about this is because there are a lot of people who within this community and not even who, like for me as well, like I want to hear from different voices. You know what I mean? And this person basically sucked up all the energy and attention and work of others, and just funneled it through himself.
And people if people had gotten the views on their video about their specific topic, their niche topic, they could have gotten the money to continue and make more interesting videos, but because their video didn't get that many views, they're like, oh, well, I guess this isn't viable to do in my spare time while I have a regular job or whatever.
Blogs aren't like as profitable as posting a video either, if that's the format that you work through. And it's just like, just sucks, man. Anyway, good video. I didn't mean to watch like so much of it in one sitting, but I just got sucked into it.
Well, I came home from work sort of quite late, and I'm like, well, I'm at home. I got home at 8 p.m. and I'm going to bed at 9. And then the video came up, and I'm like, well, I guess
this is my night ruined.
This is my whole night. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
What's your favorite H Bomber Go video? I'll give you some options.
Here we go.
Okay, there's the one about the Roblox oof.
Haven't watched that yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. That's a similar vein, I think, to this one. There's the one about Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Haven't watched that one either.
That's interesting as well, I think, because it's about how they, it's a game that is based on a game, an earlier game that a lot of people think is one of the best games of all time.
Yeah.
And how you put a lot of money into that and it just comes out fine. I think that's interesting. Like the kind of the corporate mindset that turns one of the most legendary things and a follow-up to that into something that's just fine.
Yeah.
There's the vaccines one,
War
on Christmas.
Yeah.
There's the one on I like a lot of the video game ones because a lot of them are very in-depth and they're games that I would never want to invest that amount of time. Like you and Red Dead Redemption. Like there's one on a game called Pathologic, which is like it's like a Soviet survival horror game, but it's also supernatural and it's about a virus in a town. And like the game itself is really fascinating, but I would never ever want to play it for more than like a minute.
Sure.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, good stuff, man.
Good stuff. I've also been watching the Variety Actors on Actors series.
Oh, yeah. What are you up to? Who do you watch? The Margot Robbie. That's the one I've started watching. The Margot Robbie, Cillian Murphy one.
Oh, that one's good, yeah. Mm-hmm. I watched the Emma Stone and Bradley Cooper one.
Oh, yes.
They didn't talk about the movie Aloha.
But they're in that movie together.
I know. They didn't bring it up.
Oh.
They didn't bring it up.
Well, then why even bother?
I know.
Yeah. There's a Mark Ruffalo and what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. Two famous people.
Two very famous people. I think they're very interesting. There's one with Emily Blunt and Anne Hathaway. And I'm like, those guys should do a movie together. And
they should.
They were in Devil Wears Prada.
They
did Devil Wears Prada together.
Devil Wears Prada, yeah.
Devil Wears Prada.
I mean, they're sort of, Anne Hathaway's like the lead and she's like a minor role.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
In that. But yeah, that's a fun movie maybe about a person with toxic friends.
That's exactly right. And one's Vinny Chase.
Whoa, yeah, Vinny Chase. Shut up.
Otherwise, not a lot. I'm still watching Bob Ross because my algorithms now, like,
Bob Ross.
You watched Bob Ross that one time. Here's everything he's ever done. And there's
and
so
Joe
many
Rogan.
videos. Yeah, that's right.
And Manosphere content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Cool. Should we move it along then?
We could. We certainly could.
Let's do it.
We could.
What's the segment called? On your loud-ass phone.
It's called Letters. God. See how this goes.
Okay.
It's got a Letters theme. I'll play it.
The classic one was Letters.
You'll never figure that out.
We love you.
You figured it out last week.
I know.
Down to here right now. We're going to do Letters.
Okay, so last time I was like, it's about 3/4 up. Volume's at about 3/4 up.
Yeah.
I think it's probably should be more like 9/10.
9/10. I think that's too loud.
Yeah, that could be too loud.
We'll continue this experiment next week.
That's right.
We got some letters because if you do have some letters, you probably got them from your Gmail account, which is weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com.
That's exactly
right. And I know
right.
I've got some letters, and I probably got mine from #weeklyplanetpod on Twitter.
That's right. Well, mine's my first email's from Matthew. He says, James and Mason cursed my car.
You're welcome.
Hey, Mason and James, this week I had a little adventure that started while listening to the podcast. I was driving home from a night out at about 1 a.m., fully sober, no drunk driving for me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. When my car's audio cut out, followed shortly by my power steering dying as well. I immediately pulled over and tried to turn my car off and on, which may have been a mistake as it wouldn't turn back on. My dad was able to come give me a jump start on the side of the highway, but it died again before I could get home.
Classic dad move, by the way.
Yeah.
Love that.
And I finally got home at 4 a.m. The issue ended up being the alternator.
Classic.
That's right.
That's something your dad would have probably figured out.
Yeah.
Probably alternator.
Imagine my surprise later in the week when I got to the end of the most recent episode where, in response to the review about all the great car maintenance advice on the pod, you said to check your alternator.
Absolutely.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Here's the receipt for proof.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
That's really good.
I know, right? Anyway, love the pod, and I'll make sure to pay closer attention to your car maintenance advice in the future. That happened to me once. My car cut out while I was going down a hill. Like all the warning lights came on.
Jesus.
And then just everything.
Which car was that?
This is the car prior to my current car.
Okay.
It got flooded.
Oh, wait, did this happen Because it got flooded?
Yes.
Okay.
My
and
car-
they fixed it, or you just decided to...
Now, what happened is my car got flooded at work. It filled up with water.
Yeah.
I didn't know this and it drained out when I got back to it. And I got in the car and I'm like,
And it fried all the electronics.
yeah, and I'm like, floor's a bit wet. I guess some water got in.
Yeah,
I
weird.
opened window, whatever. And then I drove it home. This is like 11 p.m. And then I'm going down a hill.
Yeah.
And every warning light on the dashboard comes on all at the same time, like every single one.
Did it make a noise? Or
No.
was it just like...
No, it was just every light and then everything cut out. And then the engine cut out, and I'm just coasting down the hill.
Jesus.
And I'm like, oh, well, I'll simply apply the brake, and the brake's not working. That's terrific.
Holy
I'll just
crap.
and then
Handbrake?
handbrake did work.
Yeah.
Yes. So I pulled it over to the side, and I put the handbrake on, and it stopped. And then I'm like, oh, I'll just start her up again, and then it just wouldn't. So
And it's still there.
yeah, it's still to this day, yeah. But it's
Jesus, that's terrifying, man.
it's
Did
gone.
you think you were going to die?
No, I thought I was going to live forever.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Thought I was going to fly through my windscreen and then fly up into the sky and live forever. I think that's great.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
What have I got here, Mason?
I don't know, James.
That's what I'm asking you.
Probably Twitter.
I do. This is from Jay Atkinson on Twitter, who says, #Weekly Punter Pod. Could we possibly get a caravan of garbage on Old Mutants leading up to Deadpool 3? Yeah, we'll probably do X-Men. No, we'll probably do the Wolverine movies leading up to that.
Okay.
And then when the X-Men starts again, we'll probably start looking at some X-Men movies. We've already done X-Men 3. That's the only one. But yeah, I would love to go through all of those
We'll have to do the New Mutants.
eventually. Or a commentary if you have X-Men movies lined up for that. Grab that gem, boys. I think we did one on Days of Future Past or First Class like years ago.
Maybe, yeah.
Give it a go. I didn't mean to write 2 tweets. It just happened. Yeah, so all that Fox X-Men stuff is coming around. Don't even worry about it, mate.
This is an email from Jack. Subject line, my loud grandma.
Oh, how loud is she?
Dear James.
How loud is she? Now you read your email.
Dear James and Mesa, my grandma talks along during movies so much, even in the theatre. I've asked her several times to stop, yet she continues.
Typical.
She emailed me an article on why talking during movies is a good thing. Knowing how James feels about people in the cinema, do you feel like at any time it is appropriate to talk during the movie?
No, shut up.
What if it's really bad?
That's fine.
Yeah.
And if you're on your own.
Yeah. I feel like we've had a few times where we've been in a movie that's been so bad, it's been like the communal experience to just
Vertical
yell things.
Limit.
Yeah.
That was That was an example of that happened when we saw the movie Vertical Limit with Chris
right.
O'Donnell.
Yeah. And he started yelling
He did.
in the movie theater.
I'm in this
Because we
movie.
saw it with him.
I'm in this movie. Yeah, it's that joke you do. I know it, Mason. Unless it's a movie I'm super into as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is an important movie to me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's like yapping away or on their phone, I'm like, whatever. I'm not
What if they're
getting punched for this.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's right. Yeah, I mean, you can always like sometimes I'll be in the theater and there'll be somebody like just on TikTok on their phone or whatever, and I'm like, I could just look the other way.
Yeah,
I could look
exactly.
up at the screen.
Yeah, it is annoying. Don't get me wrong. It's super fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's getting worse. It probably is because people have phones.
And we're getting older.
And we're getting older, but I don't think it's gotten worse in like the last 10 years since like smartphones, right? It's about the same.
Yes, I think it is. I think a lot of people now are doing stuff unconsciously, though.
Oh, okay.
I think a lot of people are on TikTok or Instagram or whatever just idly.
Just their brain.
They're just your brain goes. It's the thing. Like while you're at home, you like look at the TV, check the emails, check the text, check the Facebook, go back to the screen.
Yeah.
I think people are just translating that to being in the theater.
Yeah, you might be right.
That's right.
This one's from Batcat, who says, #Weekly Punter Pod. Mr. Tuesday, hey, when you see the hashtag symbol outside of a tweet, do you say in your head hashtag or pound?
Hashtag.
Same, but what did we used to say?
Grid.
Grid.
Grid mark.
Noughts and crosses.
Noughts crosses board.
I have no idea. Well, there was just that symbol on the phone. I don't think I knew it as anything.
No, I would say hash key.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, hash key. Yeah,
Hash key.
you're right. Yeah.
It'll still be hash key.
Yeah, you're right. Well, we did it. God damn. Got another tweet there, Mason? Or was that me?
Oh, here's another. This is relevant. This is from Thomas.
Relevant?
H-Bomber guy blows up YouTube.
Yeah, man.
Hey, guys, I love listening to the end of your podcast for ideas about other YouTubers. You guys put me onto Folding Ideas and H-Bomber guy.
You're welcome.
Just this week, HBG put up a video about plagiarism on YouTube. We know.
You're welcome.
We know. Have you guys ever noticed other channels copying your style or your content?
Yes. There was a guy at one point who was voicing my videos and then uploading them in Spanish.
Really?
Yeah, I just took the videos and I just was like, whatever, I don't give a shit.
But he doesn't do it anymore?
I have no idea. I don't care.
just you, or did he get? Was it?
No, it was the trailer breakdowns. Because you can't do it for us.
Yeah, right.
Because it's too confusing.
Yeah. You'd have to get one deep voiced guy and one squeaky voiced.
Exactly.
Huh?
So yeah, but I was just like, whatever. I'm not going to fight this.
But also, a lot of this stuff, and we've talked about this. A lot of this stuff is kind of like the stuff that we do, especially, is sort of common. A lot of it is common ground. Like when we talk about the guess the movie from the bad review.
Yeah.
Some people have based on the timeline, some people have seemingly copied that, but we copied it from BuzzFeed.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
It was from a BuzzFeed article from God knows when. But I like to think that the version that we did is a tiny bit better, maybe.
Oh, yeah, tiny bit
Or
better.
it's different at the very least.
Oh, yeah, nice.
But yeah. Well, we got accused of because I think Red Letter Media did it for Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Oh,
and they did
right.
it slightly before we did.
Right, okay.
But it was always going to be one that we did.
Yeah.
But it was like, whatever. You can't help that. It's just,
so
it is what it is. Oh, there's also like, I just released a video on Batman. By the time McDonald's like ruined Batman,
Okay,
they came in and they were like, it wasn't just them, but like you can't make Happy Meal toys if you're going to make weird Batman movies. So they changed the direction of the franchise essentially. And like the structure of that, there's a similar joke from like that recent H Bomber guy about starting a video and like whatever. And I wrote that video in like March.
Oh, yeah.
And then I only just released it. And now I'm like, no one said anything, but I'm like, oh, that looks like I just stole that joke from like last week.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Nice. Now, I don't have this here, but it's just reminded me. Someone, I think, perhaps tweeted at us or emailed us, and they said that...
we're cool.
They said we're cool.
And we're young.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, here it is.
Ah.
This is from Derpston P. Derp.
I know Derpston P. Derp.
Yeah. He was the best man at your wedding.
He was.
Hot scooper shot of poop, new Immortan Joe actor for Furiosa.
Okay.
After listening to the show for far too many years, I'm able to write into the show with a genuine hot scooper shot of poop.
Let's go.
The currently uncredited actor for the new Immortan Joe is apparently Australia's own Lockie Hume.
Which one's he again?
See, Skase from Let's Get
Oh,
Skase.
that's a great choice.
Right?
If that's him,
Yeah.
oh, that's awesome.
Okay. The only thing I know him from is that Kerry Pacatelli movie.
Yeah, sure. He was in there was a working dog politics show that he was in.
Uh-huh.
What's that called again? Dogman or something?
Dogman.
What's it called?
I don't know what Dogman is.
It was like Utopia, but it wasn't
Okay.
the Speechmaker. Was it?
He's included a tweet here. He said, Lockie Hume says he's in it. He says, hey, kids, make sure
The Hollow Men.
There we go. Oh, yeah, I remember The Hollow Man.
Yeah.
Hey, kids, make sure to check out this little indie film I'm in. And he's added the link to the...
Ah, there we go. Good.
Now, Derpston P. Derp says it's apparently Lockie Hume.
Yeah.
He hasn't provided any other evidence
But
there,
what if
though.
it isn't?
But what if it isn't?
No, I could definitely see that. Yeah, I could
Yeah.
I could definitely see that being Lockie Hume.
There you go.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending that through. I just got one more here that says, it's from Broderick, who says, have either of you used Comixology lately? Well, the dedicated app has recently been removed and now everything is running through Kindle and it's the worst. I also want to hear your thoughts. No, I know that I saw that was coming, but I haven't opened anything yet. I keep getting the countdown when I open my Comixology. It's like, don't do this. Just go over to Kindle. I'm like, I don't want to go over to Kindle.
Yeah.
Just fix your fucking app.
Also,
But they won't.
I guess...
Oh, you guess do.
Yeah, well, you'd have to use a Kindle on your tablet because we don't... In
Yeah.
Australia, we don't have the... You can get in America, you can get the full color Kindle.
Yeah.
Which you can... Like the hardware Kindle, which you can swipe and it's like... And it's full color and you can read comics on it. But in Australia, you can only get, I think, the black and white Kindles, which are only good for books.
Yeah, for crap.
Yuck. Yeah, for crap and books and stuff. So we'd have to... Anyways.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Annoying.
It's annoying.
Yeah. All right, is that the show?
It is the whole show.
Wow.
Folks, thank you so much for listening. We definitely appreciate it. Merry Christmas.
We definitely appreciate
We
it.
definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. It's not Christmas yet.
Thanks for providing me a good livelihood.
Be nice if my credit card didn't decline, though, wouldn't it?
That would be nice.
It would be. It must be.
I
nice.
nearly did it again today.
What do you
when
mean?
I was at the supermarket, I'm like, oh, fuck, I didn't like, I got to fix this. And I fixed it.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was
Did you
fine.
fix it in line? Did you like pay it on your
No,
phone?
I used a different
Wait,
card.
everybody.
Yeah.
Just,
I said,
if
everyone
you could all wait.
stop.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed.
I'm
Everyone
moving
stop.
some money around
Yeah.
if you could just, if you wouldn't mind. Folks, thank you much. Thank you much.
Thank you much.
We appreciate it. Thank you for telling your friends about the podcast because that is how we get new listeners. And thank you for giving us a 5-star review on your podcast app of choice. If you do that, James will read one out. If you
I'll
give us
read-
5 stars.
That's right. Like
5
this one
stars.
from E&E Power says, perfectly most okay people. Fantastic podcast. James and Moso feel like they're the kind of guys you want to have a beer with, except they keep forgetting their wallet or their credit card. Doesn't work. And you always have to pay. But when you need them the most, they come through. And this one's from All-Star17 who says, first, I'm not saying first because I'm the first comment review, obviously, but this is my first time leaving a review. I listen to these guys first before anything else from all my movie, comic, TV, book news, etc. Follow them for their comprehensive Snake Eyes review, which is next week.
I will do
because
that.
we figured if we're going to be doing Willy Wonka movie prequel, we'll do the Snake Eyes movie prequel.
2 prequels.
Prequels, that's right.
We should do Wonka first, and then we'll do.
Yeah, we could talk about it next week.
Yeah,
We might not.
We'll figure it out. We'll
Yeah,
figure it out on the day.
yeah.
We'll sort it out on the day.
Yeah, we'll sort it out.
Folks, if you want to get in contact with us, you can go to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. You can also go to the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group.
Woo.
You can go to the Weekly Planet Podcast subreddit and Discord. Thank you to Fidel and Maisie and Sarabi for moderating over at all those places.
Thank you for all the work you do.
That's exactly right. Fun, civil chats about podcasts and pop culture. We're having a good time over there. If you want to follow some people on the socials,
I do.
You can follow first our friend Rob Collins.
Rob Collins.
He's at Rob Collins on Twitter. He's at The Weekly Planet on Twitter. You can follow both of those places for...
And you'll never die.
You'll never die, and also you'll get constant updates on all the Weekly Planet comings and goings.
That's right.
And you'll never die.
And you'll
It's
never die.
perfect.
And he'll never die.
That's right.
If you keep supporting him.
If you don't, because he survives on wishes.
Yeah,
You know?
he does. Do you want him to die?
I don't.
Yeah.
I want to live forever.
Same.
Yeah. But also, you can follow me on Twitter at Wikipedia Brown and on Instagram, Nick Meso.
yeah.
I don't survive on wishes. I survive on cash. So if you can send me cash,
Cold hard cash.
cold hard cash. And James is Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere. He survives on spite.
I do.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of it.
Yeah. If you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. You can chuck in a buck or an amount you wouldn't miss. If you're a big rich guy.
I am.
Oh.
Yeah, because my card works.
I've heard. All your stuff works. Don't worry about it. You can go to bigsandwich.co, sign up for $9 per month, bonus podcasts, early videos, movie commentaries, video game let's plays, all sorts of stuff. So much stuff.
That's right. Is that it?
Oh, thank you to the Brute and the Bastards
yeah.
for all the musical themes.
It wasn't everyone.
T-shirts at tpublic.com.
Whoa.
What, maybe you got a Weekly Planet listener in your life? You want to get him a T-shirt? Or a throw pillow?
I do.
Or a mug?
A mug. Do we get money from that?
I don't know. We don't know.
No idea.
I don't know. Get him a bootleg one.
Yeah, I don't
Get him a
care.
bootleg Weekly Planet mug, and it just says Weekly Planet Podcast or whatever on it. It's got a typo in it.
Yeah.
You know?
Send me that. Get that one in Crete that I keep getting sent.
Yeah, the Cretan Wars one.
Yeah, I don't know why that's there, but it's been there for years.
I guess the goat is the mascot of Crete.
Yep.
Perhaps.
Maybe
is
it
that
is.
why?
Yeah.
And Star Wars, that's always a big seller.
The Crete people, they said it's the sexiest animal. That's what
Yeah.
they said. So I think that's why they
There
like
should
it so
be
much.
what I think is
I don't
unfair
think that.
about that is that image has been taken from our original logo by Golden Legend, the
Yes.
artist who created that. But it's always you.
Yeah.
And I think there should just be one that's me and it just says Big Greek Man. You know? They should sell that alongside it. And we'll see who sells more. I could be Greek.
You could be Greek.
Right?
Yeah, you've got the bad attitude of a Greek man.
That's right.
That's right. They've all got bad attitudes. I'll say it.
Wow.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Is Crete even in Greece?
That's
Near
close.
Greece? It's close enough.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, that's the whole show next week. Jonka, Wonka,
Jonka. Yeah.
Snake Eyes.
That's right. I'm just Googling Crete and Greece.
Okay.
How close are they? No, it's an island in Greece.
I knew it.
I'm an idiot.
Nah.
Why'd you make me second guess myself? This is embarrassing, like the credit card thing. Goodbye, everybody.
That's why I did it, to embarrass you. Okay, grab that jammy, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.